Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video right here on altcoins. I've been making these videos a little bit more often over the course of the last week just because there's been a lot of altcoin action, as most of you know, but wanted to do an update again today because there's some fundamentals that I think we need to talk about that are going on right now, crypto-specific fundamentals, but also some fundamentals around that. So I'll tell you about that. I will try to prepare you for that and what they mean for altcoins. And we're just going to do a full update on what I said last time around. I mean, last time around, we've had some spikes up higher, but so far, I think I have been correct, right? Because what I said last time, and by the way, if you're new to the channel, first of all, welcome. You're very welcome on this channel. We try to be very professional. We try to use good analysis and just thorough analysis, both technically and fundamentally, to prepare you as well as possible for the market circumstances. We're going to do an analysis mainly, but we will also venture to other things. But we'll mainly analyze others, right? So, which is the index of altcoins, which is basically the crypto total market cap, excluding the top 10. So that's usually what I analyze. That's what you can see on the chart right here. We'll talk about the Bitcoin dominance in a moment because there's something interesting going on there as well. But we'll start off with this. What I said last time around is that I thought it was most likely, given the fundamental risks of the week that we are getting into, but also the lesser momentum that we had over the course of last week when we had that move up, I said, all right, well, from this level right here at $304 billion, right? So that's for others, the crypto total market cap, excluding the top 10. I think we're going to pull back first into this level at 290, 285, maybe $280 billion, that main support level, that area, where we have some more support confluences, by the way, than the ones you can see on the chart, right? Because you can already see some Fibonacci levels. You can see some fair value gaps. You can see it's a very respected level. There's more than that even. But I said it's most likely we're going to pull back into that, find support, and then from there continue rallying as long as the fundamentals remain relatively good. Now, at this point of time, the fundamentals are good, right? Coinbase Bitcoin premium could be better, but that's also not too relevant right now with Ethereum being very, very strong. But if you take a look at something like equities, they're rallying. If you take a look at the volatility index, which is unrest, that's very low. So that's all great. There are some things that could change that next week. That's what I think you need to know about. The first thing is peace talks between Russia and Ukraine. You should keep an eye on that, whether you want to be involved or not. I understand. I mean, it's a lot nowadays to stay updated on geopolitics and to not get biased by all sorts of sides. It's very difficult, but I do think if you really want to be prepared for the markets, at least keep your eyes on the volatility index. So that could do something to the markets. If we see a major escalation or something, I am no longer sure of this bounce. All right, so that is something you need to know. And then outside of that, we also have inflation rate data on Tuesday. That's very relevant for the US monetary policy. If we see much higher inflation rate data than expected, then I'm also no longer certain about that bounce. Now, I think both of those things are unlikely, all right? And that's why I'm telling you, I still think this is most likely, right? So that we are going to pull back lower, but that we are going to get a bounce and that we are going to rally up higher. Those are my thoughts on others, but those are some of the fundamentals that I think you need to know about next week. So like I said, I do think before the inflation rates, we're going to see some more de-risking. So that's going to push others down lower. I think Bitcoin dominance right now is getting bearish on the daily time frame. However, we are at support, right? So I expect a little bit of a bounce higher from this as well. So that means that Bitcoin is going to outperform altcoins. So that means that others is going to be pushed down as well, especially if Bitcoin finds resistance. So because of those reasons, I expect a further pullback. But for now, like I said, because of the strength of the fundamentals, unless they change, I do expect a bounce. Now, what are the main areas to look at? I still think in terms of altcoins, which I like to end these videos with, I still think Ethereum Beta is a great place to look at. Pendle is a project that's very interesting, although I would wait for a bigger pullback. Personally, I'm invested in ENS. I think that's a very interesting coin. Got a huge amount of volume over the course of the last night. Very interesting coin. Should definitely keep your eyes on this. And I think this can break out of this weird little range that we have right here. What more do Lido DAO, same thing as with Pendle, would wait for a pullback, would wait for some of those imbalances to be filled. Same thing with Compound. Compound has gained a lot of momentum. I think this should be top of your watch list as well. Then outside of that, there's a couple of more shady coins that are gaining some momentum. So Avai, for example, so that's this. This I think is quite interesting. I saw some strength in meme coins, so Turbo, Pepe looked quite interesting. I think Jito, which is Solana ecosystem, if you want exposure to that, I think it's at the bottom of the range, and I do expect some sort of a move up higher from there. Same thing for Aptos. So those are some pointers in the right direction. Hopefully, I will keep you updated on this, of course, over the course of the next week. For now, that's it. Have a great Sunday. Take care and bye.